Chapter 1. Your life is a love letter to an empty sky. Imagine. What if the universe never reads your story? What if every triumph, every tear, every whispered dream at 3 a.m. is sent out into a vast, silent darkness that offers no reply? Does that make your courage less real, your love less bright? Or could it make them burn all the more fiercely? Tonight we trace the quiet, defiant art of writing beauty onto the void. Close your eyes. Picture a child on a vast, windswept beach. The tide is going out, pulling the sea toward a horizon blurred by mist. The child bends, scooping wet sand into clumsy hands. They aren't building a fortress, not really. They're shaping a castle with crooked towers and uneven walls. They pat it smooth with solemn concentration. A wave, larger than the others, hisses up the sand. It doesn't destroy the castle outright. It just softens the edges. The towers slump. The moat fills in. The child watches. No cry of frustration, no stomping foot. They simply kneel again, hands plunging back into the cool, yielding sand. They begin anew, not rebuilding the same castle, building a different one. This one might have a wider courtyard, maybe a taller, more precarious spire. The next wave will come. The child knows this. The beach knows this. The indifferent sea knows this absolutely. Yet the child shapes. This is the absurd heart. The universe whispers no promises. It offers no permanence. Like the child's sandcastle, our lives are temporary structures on an eroding shore. But Camus asks us not to weep over the inevitable wave. He asks us to see the sculptor in the child, to feel the cool sand between our fingers. The act of building is the rebellion. The love poured into the shaping, knowing it won't last, is the ink in our love letter to the empty sky. It's not about leaving a monument the sea cannot touch. It's about the fierce, quiet dignity in choosing the shape this time. Choosing the crooked tower. Choosing the lopsided wall. Pouring meaning into it, not because the universe demands it or rewards it, but simply because you can. Because the sand is there, and your hands are alive. The wave is not a tragedy. It's the canvas being wiped clean. The emptiness of the sky isn't cold. It's the blank page waiting for your next fleeting, magnificent sentence. Feel the sand shift under your weight tonight. You are the architect of moments, your breath, your heartbeat, the quiet thoughts drifting now. These are the stones you lay. The sky may be silent, but you're building. Your building sings. Let the rhythm of that unseen song, the pulse of your quiet defiance, lull you deeper. The waves will come. For now, just shape the sand. Feel its cool possibility. And as the child's castle dissolves, leaving only the memory of its shape in the sand, doesn't a part of you ache for something more solid? Something that feels like it lasts? Ah, but what if that very ache is the key? What if the most solid ground we find is within the fall itself? Let's step into that strange, weightless freedom. Chapter 2. The gentle defiance of a Sisyphus who smiles. What if the heaviest burden became strangely light? What if pushing a boulder up a hill, only to watch it roll down, forever, wasn't a curse, but the birthplace of a secret, profound joy? Not the joy of victory, but the quiet, luminous joy of presence. Tonight, we meet a man condemned to futility and discover why his story might be the most hopeful whisper you hear in the dark. Breathe in, feel the air fill your lungs. Now picture the mountain. It isn't jagged or cruel, just steep, relentlessly steep. The stone at its base isn't jagged either. It's massive, yes, impossibly heavy, but smooth, cool to the touch. A man stands beside it. Sisyphus, You see the weariness etched into the lines around his eyes, the dust ground into his hands. He leans his shoulder against the stone, planting his feet firmly on the earth. He pushes, muscles strain, sinews tighten. The stone yields, inch by grinding inch. The sun beats down. Sweat traces paths through the dust on his skin. There is only the stone, the slope, the strain. The world shrinks to this: breath, effort, friction. He doesn't curse the gods. He doesn't rail at the sky. His focus is absolute. This breath, this step, this inch gained against gravity. He reaches the summit. For a single suspended moment, he stands there. The stone rests. He looks out, not with despair, but with clarity. The valley below is drenched in afternoon light. He sees the green patchwork of fields, the silver ribbon of a distant river, the way the light catches the wing of a single bird soaring on a thermal. He sees it, truly sees it. Then the stone shifts. Gravity reclaims its own. It begins its slow, inevitable roll back down the mountainside. Sisyphus watches it go. And here, Camus finds the miracle, not in stopping the stone, not in escaping the hill, but in the walk down. As Sisyphus descends to meet his burden again, knowing full well the task is eternal, what fills his heart? It is the moment of lucidity, the sheer undeniable aliveness he felt. Pushing the stone, feeling his muscles burn, the sun on his neck. It is the piercing beauty of the valley seen from the summit, a beauty made sharper, more precious, precisely because he knows it is fleeting. His rebellion is the conscious choice to own the task, to find dignity in the effort itself, to feel the sun, the strain, the cool rock, the vast sky, to be utterly present in the absurdity. The smile Camus imagines isn't one of madness, but of lucid triumph. It's the smile of a man who has stripped the gods of their ultimate weapon, despair. His punishment is his freedom. The boulder is his life. The hill is the day. The act of pushing, fully aware, fully engaged, that is the art of living. Your burdens tonight, the ones that roll back down, feel their weight. But feel also the strength in your arms as you push. Feel the ground beneath your feet. See the light around you. The defiance isn't a roar, it's a quiet breath. It's choosing to see the bird's wing glint. It's finding the strange, solid joy in the effort itself. Let the rhythm of your own breath become your steps down the mountain. Meet your stone. Push again tomorrow. For now, rest in the space between the effort. Feel the quiet victory of simply being here. That space between the effort. It's not empty, is it? It's filled with a kind of awareness, a sharp, almost painful clarity about the world and about others. What happens when that clarity turns towards the people beside us, on their own mountains? What strange, difficult beauty blooms there? Chapter 3. When your only weapon is a wildflower, faced with a world stripped bare of ultimate meaning, where cruelty can bloom like a weed, what defense do we possibly have? Armor, walls, cynicism? Camus offers something disarmingly fragile, terrifyingly vulnerable, a single stubborn act of kindness. Why is this frail blossom the most revolutionary act of all? Tonight we walk into the desert, armed only with tenderness. Let the darkness hold you, and imagine a vast, dry landscape. Sun-baked earth stretches to distant, hazy mountains. The air shimmers with heat. It feels ancient, indifferent, perhaps even hostile. Life here is sparse, tough, clinging. Now, picture a traveler. Dust coats their clothes, lines their face. Their water is low. The journey is long. The destination uncertain. They crest a rise and see, far below, another figure. This one is crumpled on the ground, injured, perhaps dying. The traveler stops. Instinct might scream, "Go around, conserve your strength." The desert doesn't care. Why should you? Your own survival is precarious enough. This is the moment Camus illuminates. The universe, vast and silent, offers no reason to stop. No divine command, no promise of reward. Stopping risks everything: time, energy, precious water. It might even mean death. Yet, the traveler descends, kneels beside the wounded one, offers a sip from their own dwindling supply, bathes a wound with a scrap of cloth, dampened with that precious water. They share the shade of a single stunted thorn tree. They speak soft words, perhaps meaningless in the face of such vast emptiness, yet charged with a profound humanity. This is the rebellion. Not with grand gestures against an uncaring cosmos, but with the intimate, perilous choice of connection. It's the wildflower pushed through cracked concrete. It's acknowledging the desert's indifference and planting a tiny oasis of care anyway. The weapon is vulnerability. The act is defiance. Camus called it thinking clearly and not despairing, but it manifests as this: I see your suffering in this meaningless void, and I choose not to add to it. I choose, against all reason, to ease it. It's admitting the world lacks inherent purpose, and then creating purpose through how we touch each other. That shared sip of water under the scorching sun becomes sacred. It doesn't conquer the desert. It doesn't guarantee survival, but it creates a momentary island of meaning, fiercely human. It says, even here, even now, tenderness is possible. Your kindness tonight, however small, the softened voice, the withheld harsh word, the fleeting thought of compassion for someone difficult, is your wildflower in the desert. It's your rebellion against the cold mechanics of existence. It's proof that meaning isn't found. It's forged, moment by fragile moment, in the space between two souls acknowledging each other in the void. Feel the fragility of that blossom. Feel its astonishing strength. Let its quiet defiance be your shield and your solace as you drift. That shared water, that fragile oasis, it speaks of connection. But what about the times we stand utterly alone, when the connection feels severed and the silence of the universe presses in? What then? Where do we find the anchor? Perhaps it's closer than breath. Chapter 4. The sun on your skin is the only immortality you need. We chase legacies, build monuments, whisper prayers for something beyond the fading light. But what if the greatest eternity is already here? Not in lasting forever, but in feeling forever, now. What if the sun warming your skin, this very moment, holds a depth of meaning that outshines any promise of tomorrow? Tonight, we learn to die, by learning to truly live in the fleeting light. Sink into the softness, and think of summer. Not the whole season, but one perfect suspended afternoon. Imagine lying on warm grass, not thinking about deadlines, worries, or what comes next. Simply feeling. The sun is a physical weight, a golden blanket draped over your closed eyelids, your arms, your legs. You feel its heat seep into your bones. You hear the lazy drone of a bee, the distant cry of a child at play, the rustle of leaves in a gentle breeze. You smell cut grass, warm earth, perhaps the faint scent of honeysuckle drifting from a nearby vine. Time dissolves. There is only sensation. The rough texture of a blade of grass against your fingertip, the coolness of the earth beneath the sun-warmed surface, the sheer, uncomplicated fact of being alive, right here, right now. This, Camus would argue, is where the absurd yields its most precious fruit, conscious experience. The frantic search for immortality, for grand cosmic purpose, can blind us to the profound miracle already present. The sunlight is the meaning. The warmth is the answer. The buzzing bee is the hymn. This isn't hedonism, it's lucid appreciation. It's recognizing that the promise of eternity can never be cashed in now, but this feeling can. The rebel against the absurd doesn't deny death. They defy death's power to diminish the present by constantly chasing a future that never arrives. They choose instead to be a conqueror of the moment, to wring every drop of sensation, every spark of awareness from the fleeting now. Think of the taste of a cold peach on a hot day, the sound of rain on a roof when you're safe inside, the feeling of a hand holding yours. These are not small things. They are the raw material of existence, the only true currency we possess. To be fully present within them, that is the art. That is the rebellion against the void. The sun on your skin is your immortality, not because it lasts, but because you felt it deeply, completely, in the brief, beautiful span allotted to you. That feeling, that awareness, is a victory no oblivion can erase. It happened. You were here. You felt the sun. Let that warmth seep into you tonight, not just as physical comfort, but as a philosophy. Feel the weight of the blanket, the rise and fall of your chest, the quiet hum of the night. This is it. This is the profound, temporary, magnificent gift. Don't grasp for more. Don't mourn its passing yet. Just feel it. Be the conqueror of this breath, this heartbeat, this moment of perfect sunlit stillness in the dark, conquering the moment. It sounds simple. Yet how often does the world, with its noise and demands, pull us away? How do we keep finding that sunlit stillness when the clouds gather? Perhaps the answer lies not in the sky, but in a choice we make within again and again. Chapter 5. Choose your weather. The quiet revolution of a single thought. The storm rages outside, but must it rage within? The world throws its chaos, its indifference, its pain. But what if the final frontier of freedom isn't controlling the storm, but choosing how you stand in the rain? Camus offers no shield, only a startling power, the sovereignty of your inner sky. Tonight we discover the quietest, most potent rebellion of all. Listen to the rhythm of your own breathing, the gentle tide within. Now picture yourself standing on a cliff edge. Below, the sea is a churning fury. Waves crash against black rocks, throwing spray high into the air. The wind howls, tearing at your clothes, stinging your face with salt and rain. The sky is bruised purple and gray, heavy with unshed rain. It's magnificent, terrifying, utterly beyond your control. This is the world, absurd, chaotic, often brutal. You cannot calm this sea. You cannot command this wind. The storm does what it will. Camus's rebellion isn't about denying the storm's existence or power. It's about what happens inside the person standing on that cliff. Do you rage back at the wind, shaking your fist until you're exhausted? Do you crumple under its force, defeated before the first true downpour? Or do you straighten your spine, feel the cold sting on your skin, the raw power vibrating through the air, and choose? Choose not to be defined by the storm. Choose to acknowledge its fury. And yet, within the sanctuary of your own mind, cultivate a different weather. This isn't naive optimism. It's conscious defiance. It's the decision to find a sliver of calm observation amidst the howl, to notice the way the light fractures through a breaking wave, creating a momentary rainbow in the spray, to feel the solid rock beneath your feet, unmoved by the chaos, to focus on the simple anchoring rhythm of your own breath, in and out, a tiny island of order in the maelstrom. This inner weather, this chosen state of mind, is your ultimate freedom. The world will inflict its weather, loss, injustice, meaninglessness. But your inner climate? That is your domain. You choose whether to let the outer storm become an inner hurricane, or whether to tend the small, clear space within. Choosing calm isn't ignoring the storm. It's refusing to let the storm become your master. Choosing curiosity about the rainbow in the spray isn't denying the danger. It's asserting your humanity within the danger. Choosing to breathe deeply and steadily is the quietest, most revolutionary act. I am here. I feel this, and I am more than what assails me. Your thoughts tonight, drifting like clouds. You hold the sky they move through. Is it turbulent? Or can you, even for a breath, choose a moment of stillness, a moment of simple observation? That choice, repeated breath by breath, is the art of living. It's planting flowers in the inner courtyard while the storm batters the walls. It's rebellion distilled to its essence, the sovereignty of your own awareness. Let the outer world rage. For now, tend your inner sky. Watch the storm clouds of thought drift, and choose to let the space between them be vast and calm and deeply, peacefully your own. Feel the rock beneath you. Breathe. The storm passes. Your sky remains. Let it be clear. Let it be quiet. Let it cradle you into sleep. Chapter 6. The Gardener of Impossible Flowers. Imagine planting seeds on the slopes of an active volcano, tending fragile blooms where ash falls like gray snow. Why would anyone do this? Not for harvest, not for praise, but for the sheer stubborn act of saying yes to color in a landscape of fire and smoke. Tonight, meet the gardener who tends beauty precisely. Because the ground trembles, let the darkness cradle you. Picture a hillside, not gentle, but steep, scarred. The earth beneath your feet vibrates with a low, constant hum. The air smells of sulfur and heat. Above, the mountain looms, its peak wreathed in smoke, sometimes glowing with an angry inner light. Ash drifts down, a soft, persistent gray rain coating everything. And there, kneeling in the gray, is a figure. Their hands are stained with ash and soil. Before them, a small, improbable patch of color. Delicate blue flowers, petals like tissue paper, scarlet poppies, defiantly bright against the gloom. They aren't in neat rows, these flowers. They're survivors, pushing through cracks in the volcanic rock, clustered where a trickle of moisture escapes the heat. The gardener moves slowly, deliberately. They brush ash from a fragile stem. They coax a tendril toward a sliver of sunlight piercing the haze. They pour precious water, carried from far below, onto the thirsty roots. They know the mountain. They feel its rumble in their bones. They've seen eruptions scorch the slopes clean. They know these flowers might be buried tomorrow. Yet, they plant another seed, presses it gently into warm, ashy soil. Camus whispers, "This is the rebellion, not grand gestures against the volcano, but the intimate daily tending of beauty in full sight of the absurd." The volcano is the universe, immense, uncaring, capable of obliteration. The flowers are our moments of meaning, love, art, a shared laugh, a quiet act of courage. The gardener is us. We know the fragility. We feel the tremors of chaos, loss, the sheer indifference of existence. Yet, we plant, we tend, we choose to create pockets of color, islands of care, not because they will last forever, but because the act of creation itself is our defiance. The ash will fall, the ground will shake. But right now, the blue flower exists. Your kindness today, the idea you nurtured, the moment you paused to truly see something beautiful. These are your impossible flowers. Tend them. Honor their fleeting brilliance. Their existence, however brief, is a whispered nevertheless to the void. Let the image of those fragile blooms against the gray soothe you. Your tending matters. You are the gardener. Feel the warm soil in your hands, the pulse of life beneath the ash. Sleep now, knowing your patch of color is real. That gardener's quiet focus. It feels like a different kind of strength, doesn't it? Not the strength to conquer the mountain, but to be utterly present beside it. Where does that unwavering presence come from? Perhaps it's found not in fighting the storm, but in becoming the still point within it. Chapter 7. The Lighthouse That Turns Inward. We search for beacons in the dark, stars, philosophies, loves, to guide us through life's turbulent seas. But what if the most crucial light is the one we kindle within? What if true navigation begins when we stop scanning the horizon and learn to illuminate the depths of our own being? Tonight, discover the quiet revolution of becoming your own steady flame. Breathe deeply. Feel the anchor of your own breath. Now picture a vast, dark ocean. Waves rise like black mountains, crashing with unseen force. The wind howls, a sound both empty and immense. Somewhere out there, lost in the tumult, is a small boat. You are on that boat. The compass spins wildly. The stars are swallowed by cloud. Panic whispers, lost, adrift, at the mercy of the deep. Then you remember. Not a memory of land, but a sensation. A warmth in your chest, a quiet pulse of awareness. You close your eyes against the lashing spray, the terrifying dark. You turn your attention inward, not to thoughts, but to the space beneath them, to the simple, undeniable fact. I am here. I feel this cold. I hear this wind. I am afraid. This awareness, this is your flint. You strike it against the reality of your own presence. Click. A tiny spark appears in the inner darkness, not blinding, not grand, but yours. You focus on it. The spark grows, fed by your attention, by your refusal to be utterly consumed by the outer chaos. It becomes a small, steady flame. It illuminates, not the storm, but the deck beneath your feet. Your own hands on the tiller, your own breath, ragged but real. This inner light doesn't calm the sea. It doesn't show you the shore, but it shows you to yourself. Camus' rebel doesn't find meaning in grand external answers offered by the void. They forge it in the furnace of their own lucid awareness. Turning the lighthouse inward means accepting the storm's existence, but refusing to let it extinguish your inner witness. It's knowing the ocean is vast and indifferent, but your feeling of the spray, your chill, your determination to keep breathing, these are real. They are your territory, your sovereignty, your light. When the world offers no answers, this inner flame asks only one question. How will I meet this moment? With clarity, with courage, with kindness to yourself amidst the howl? That choice, illuminated by your own awareness, is the art of living. Your inner light is always there. Feel its quiet ember in your chest now. Nurture it with your attention. Let its gentle, unwavering glow be your compass in the dark sea of sleep. You are not lost. You are here. You are the light. Tend it. That inner light. It reveals the ship, the waves, your own hands. But what about the cargo we carry? The burdens, the cracks, the things we feel are broken beyond repair? What if the light reveals not ruin, but a startling, unexpected beauty? Chapter 8. The Broken Vase. The Golden Glue. We hide our cracks, we fear the shattering, we mourn the perfect vessel we imagine we should be. But what if wholeness is a myth, and the true masterpiece lies in how we reassemble the pieces? What if the most profound beauty emerges not despite the breaks, but through them, held together by a glue spun from pure, rebellious acceptance? Tonight, we drop the vase, sink deeper. Imagine a cherished object, perhaps a vase, smooth porcelain, glazed a perfect cool white. It sits on a shelf, catching the light. It represents an ideal, a life unmarred, a self perfectly formed. Now, picture it falling, not in slow motion, but with the terrible final sound of impact. Crack. Shards scatter across the floor. Sharp edges gleam in the light. The perfect whole is gone, irrevocably. The instinct? Grief, horror, maybe anger. A frantic urge to hide the pieces, pretend it never happened, or to glue it back together, desperately trying to erase the lines, to make it look whole again. Camus invites a different path. Sit amongst the shards, pick one up, feel its coolness, its sharp edge, its unique shape. Acknowledge the break, not as failure, but as fact. The vase is broken, the ideal is shattered. Now, what? Here lies the rebellion, not in denying the break, but in gathering the pieces with clear eyes and a steady hand. Not to recreate the old vase, but to assemble something new. And what glue to use? Not shame, not denial, not the desperate paste of pretending. Use gold, liquid sunlight, acceptance, the conscious choice to say, this happened, I am marked, and I choose to honor the break, not hide it. Carefully, deliberately, join the shards. Let the seams show. Let the golden lines trace the history of the fall. The new vessel won't hold water like the old one. It might be lopsided. Its function has changed. But oh, the light it catches now. The gold seams burn with a fierce, undeniable beauty the perfect white never possessed. They tell a story of impact, survival, and deliberate, loving reassembly. Your cracks, your scars, your perceived flaws, these are not signs of failure, but opportunities for the golden glue. The rebellion is embracing your unique shape, assembled piece by piece from life's inevitable shatterings. It's knowing the original wholeness was an illusion, and finding a deeper, more resilient beauty in the conscious act of putting yourself back together. Seam by golden seam. See the light catch those golden lines within you tonight. They are not flaws. They are the map of your resilience, the testament to your ongoing rebellious creation. They are beautiful. Let their quiet glow be your lullaby. That golden light, tracing the breaks, it speaks of a hard-won beauty. But what about the moments before the glue, the raw shock of the shattering? Where do we find the breath, the stillness, to even begin to gather the pieces? Perhaps it starts with a sound we rarely make. Chapter 9. Why you must hear the world's laughter before dawn. The universe doesn't weep. It doesn't cheer. It simply is. And in the face of its vast, silent indifference, our grandest plans, our deepest sorrows, can suddenly seem strangely comical. Not trivial, but touched by an absurdity that, if we dare to hear it, rings with a liberating, cleansing sound. Tonight, learn the secret power of the cosmic chuckle. Feel the soft weight of the night, And imagine standing on a high balcony, looking out over a sleeping city. Lights twinkle like fallen stars. It's beautiful, complex, full of unseen dramas. A couple argues behind a lit window. A student burns midnight oil. Someone laughs at a shared joke. Someone else weeps alone. Now, pull back. Further, see the city shrink, becoming a cluster of lights on a dark sphere. Pull back further. The sphere is earth, blue, and swirling with clouds, hanging in an immensity of black. All the arguments, the exams, the laughter, the tears, contained on this tiny, fragile marble, spinning through silent space. The universe watches and says nothing. It doesn't condemn the argument or reward the studying. It doesn't amplify the laughter or dry the tears. It just is, vast, silent, indifferent. And here, Camus suggests a peculiar liberation, not mockery, not cruelty, but a gentle cosmic absurdity that touches everything. The sheer scale makes our human struggles both profoundly important to us and cosmically insignificant. This juxtaposition, it's not tragic, it's comical, not a belly laugh, but a quiet, breathy chuckle of recognition. Of course we strive and weep and love fiercely on this tiny speck. What else could we possibly do? The rebellion lies in hearing this cosmic laughter, not as mockery, but as a release. It strips away the false weight of ultimate seriousness we sometimes impose on ourselves. It allows us to take our struggles seriously, but not solemnly. It lets us see the heroics and the heartbreaks of our tiny human stage with a touch of wry, compassionate clarity. Hearing the world's laughter doesn't diminish your pain or your joy. It puts them in their true context, precious, fleeting, intensely human dramas, played out on a grand, silent stage. It allows you to engage fully, passionately, but without the crushing burden of believing the entire cosmos hinges on the outcome. Your worry tonight, your hope, your quiet longing, feel their weight, honor them. Then imagine the stars, vast and silent. Let a small breath escape you, not a sigh, but the ghost of a smile, a recognition. Ah yes, here we are, doing this. That breath is the cosmic chuckle. It's the sound of lightness returning. It's permission to live fiercely, love deeply, strive honestly. And sometimes, just sometimes, to laugh gently at the magnificent, ridiculous, beautiful predicament of being human on a tiny blue dot. Let that quiet, liberating sound drift you deeper into sleep. The universe may be silent, but your inner chuckle is a tiny, rebellious bell. That lightness, that release, it feels like shedding an invisible weight. But how do we carry it into the daylight? How do we keep that sense of spaciousness when the world crowds in, demanding we take its dramas with deadly seriousness? The answer might lie in a choice we make every single hour.
Chapter 10. The Unseen Compass, Pointing Only Here. We search for true north, in faith, in purpose, in love, in maps drawn by others. We scan the horizon, consult the stars, follow paths worn smooth by countless footsteps, all the while missing the subtle, constant pull within. What if the only direction that truly matters, the only destination that ever exists, is the ground beneath your feet, the breath in your lungs? This irreplaceable moment, tonight, lose the map and find the world. Let go of seeking. Breathe out. Feel the air leave your lungs, a small release. Now picture yourself, anywhere, perhaps a busy street corner. Rain slicks the pavement, reflecting neon signs. People rush past, umbrellas like black beetles. Cars hiss through the wet. The noise is a physical thing. Or picture a quiet forest path, Sunlight dapples through ancient trees. The air smells of damp earth and pine resin. A bird calls, a single, clear note. Or simply feel the sheets against your skin, the pillow beneath your head, the quiet rhythm of your own heart. Wherever you are, be there. Not thinking about the meeting you just left, the conversation you need to have tomorrow, the dream you chase. Be here. Feel the rain's cold kiss on your cheek, or the sun's warmth on your closed eyelids, or the soft pressure of the mattress. Listen to the city's roar, or the forest's sigh, or the profound silence of your room. This, Camus insists, is the only territory. The past is a story. The future is a guess. The grand meanings we seek are like distant mountains we imagine beyond the mist. But here, now, this is real. This is the ground of being. The rebellion against the absurd is not a frantic quest for an elusive true north. It's the radical act of planting your feet firmly on the patch of earth you currently occupy and saying, "This is it. This is the center. This is where I live." The compass you seek doesn't point outwards. Its needle trembles, perpetually, towards the immediate reality of your senses, the taste of your morning coffee, the ache in your shoulders after a long day, the sound of a loved one's voice, the texture of this breath, entering, leaving. These are not distractions from the search for meaning. They are the meaning. The art of living is the continual return to this compass point. Here, now. It's feeling the rain, not resenting it for ruining your shoes. It's hearing the bird, not ignoring it while planning your next move. It's feeling the weariness in your bones and honoring it with rest, not pushing past it towards some imagined future vitality. Your life isn't happening then or there. It's happening here, in the sensations of this very moment. Feel your body against the bed. Hear the subtle sounds of the night. Smell the air. Your unseen compass points only to this. There is no other destination. This awareness, this full inhabiting of the present, is your quiet rebellion against the pull of regret and anxiety. It's your anchor in the absurd sea. It's where life, in all its messy, fleeting, vibrant reality, actually resides. Let go of the map. Feel the ground beneath you, right now. This is your true north. This is your world. Let its simple, profound reality cradle you into sleep. You have arrived. You are home. Breathe. Here. Now.
Chapter 11. When the universe stops whispering back. That chilling moment. Your heart outgrows the stars. You know that feeling, don't you? Late at night, perhaps staring out at the indifferent sprawl of stars, or maybe just standing in the too bright silence of your own kitchen, when the comforting hum of the world stops. The rules you learned, the meanings you clung to, they suddenly feel thin, ill-fitting, like clothes you've outgrown, leaving you strangely exposed. That shiver isn't just the night air, it's the first breath of the absurd. Albert Camus didn't just write about this feeling. He named it, held it up to the light, and dared to ask, what if this chilling silence isn't a failure, but a terrifying, necessary doorway? Imagine a child, wide-eyed, calling out into a vast ancient forest. They expect an echo, a rustle, a sign of recognition, but the trees stand mute. The wind sighs past, indifferent. The child's voice feels small, suddenly lost in the green immensity. That's us. That's the human heart yearning for meaning in a universe that offers only silence and vast, beautiful indifference. Camus called this divorce between our desperate need for answers and the universe's resounding silence the absurd. It's not depression,
not despair in the usual sense. It's a lucid, almost physical sensation. The world shedding its familiar skin, revealing a face that is breathtakingly alien. And in that moment, everything you thought was solid trembles. This isn't ancient history gathering dust. Right now, someone is lying awake, feeling that familiar, cold prickle of meaninglessness seep in. Maybe after a long day that felt like running on a treadmill to nowhere. Maybe after news that made the world seem cruel and random. That ache in the chest, that's the absurd knocking. And the terrible, beautiful truth Camus whispered is this: you have a choice. Most turn away. They rush back to the noise, the routines, the ready-made answers offered by others. Anything to drown out that chilling silence. They build walls against the void, brick by comforting brick. But those walls, Camus warned, become cages. They shrink your world. They make you smaller, trading the vast, terrifying sky for the false security of a well-lit room with the curtains drawn tight. You might feel safer, yes, but you trade the wind on your face, the scent of distant rain, the impossible glitter of untouched stars, for the stale air of certainty. That safety is the quiet death of possibility. So what remains? If the universe offers no answers, no grand plan, no echo, what do we hold on to? Camus didn't offer cheap comfort. He offered something harder, purer, revolt. Not with banners and fury, but a quiet, relentless inner fire. It's the refusal to look away from the silence and the refusal to let it extinguish you. It's Sisyphus, condemned by the gods to push his boulder up a mountain only for it to roll down again, forever. Eternal, pointless toil, the ultimate image of futility. Yet Camus saw him differently. Imagine Sisyphus trudging back down the mountain. The sweat stings his eyes, his muscles scream. The boulder lies below, waiting. The gods laugh. But in that moment, descending, Sisyphus sees. He sees the texture of the rock beneath his feet, the way the sunlight catches the dust motes in the air, the distant curve of the sea. He feels the ache in his limbs, the salt on his lips. He is alive in his struggle, intensely, defiantly present. His task is meaningless, yes, but he is not. His consciousness, his refusal to be broken by the task, his sheer, stubborn act of continuing, that is his rebellion. That is his victory. He finds meaning not in the task, but against it. In the full awareness of the struggle, he is free. This is the art of living Camus invites us to. It's not about finding some grand cosmic purpose written in the stars. It's about finding the purpose in the looking. It's about feeling the cold air on your face as you stare at the silent sky, and instead of despairing, feeling a fierce, quiet joy simply because you can feel it. It's about tasting your coffee, truly tasting it, as if it were the first or the last cup. It's about the warmth of a hand in yours, not as a promise of forever, but as a radiant point of light in the vast, indifferent dark, right now. It's choosing to push your own boulder, whatever it may be, not because it leads somewhere glorious, but because the act of pushing, feeling, being here, that is the rebellion. That is the defiance that makes the silence bearable. That is how you turn the absurd from a chilling void into a canvas for your own fierce, fleeting, and utterly human masterpiece of being alive. The universe may not whisper back, but your own heartbeat, your own breath, your own defiant act of finding beauty in the falling dusk. That becomes your answer. Sleep now, knowing the silence isn't your enemy, but the vast, strange stage upon which your own precious, rebellious act of living unfolds. Let that awareness cradle you. Chapter 12, The Stone, that sang, "Why your heaviest burden holds a secret melody. Only you can hear. Close your eyes. Feel the weight, not the physical kind, though that might be there too. Feel the other weight, the one you carry without speaking of it. The task that feels endless, the responsibility that pins you down, the dream deferred, the grief that sits heavy in your chest. It feels like a stone, doesn't it? Smooth and cold, pressing you into the earth. We spend so much energy wishing it away, cursing its existence, dreaming of mountains without stones. But what if Camus was right? What if that very stone, the symbol of your seemingly pointless struggle, holds a hidden song? A melody not of ease, but of profound rebellious freedom, waiting only for you to truly listen. Picture Sisyphus, not just the myth, but the man. Feel the rough grain of the boulder under his palms, the strain in his shoulders as he leans into it, inch by agonizing inch, up the impossible slope. The sun beats down. The path is steep, littered with sharp pebbles that bite into his worn sandals. Every muscle protests. He knows the summit is an illusion. The gods watch, amused by his eternal, futile labor. The weight is crushing, utterly, undeniably real. This is the burden we all know in some form. The daily grind that feels devoid of glory. The love that demands more than we think we can give. The illness that steals our breath. The simple, exhausting act of getting through. It's easy to see only the stone, to feel only its terrible gravity pulling us toward despair, to believe the only freedom lies in its removal. Camus looked at this man and his rock and saw something else entirely. He saw a different kind of freedom, blossoming within the struggle. Imagine Sisyphus reaching the place where the boulder always rolls back. He watches it tumble down, gathering speed, crashing into the valley below with a sound like thunder. The gods smirk. Here is the moment of utter defeat, repeated for eternity. This is where despair should swallow him whole. But Camus asks us to see Sisyphus in the pause, the descent. He's walking back down the mountain now. The immediate pressure is gone. His hands are empty, scraped and sore, but empty. The air feels different. He breathes. He sees. He notices the way the afternoon light paints the mountain ash trees in gold. He feels the cool breeze carrying the scent of wild thyme and distant sea salt. He hears the cry of a hawk circling overhead. His body aches, a deep, resonant ache, but it's the ache of being, of effort expended. In this moment, descending toward his burden once more, he is fully, lucidly present. The stone hasn't vanished, its weight hasn't lessened, but his relationship to it has shifted. He is no longer just the victim of the stone. He is the one who chooses to push it. Again, and in that choice, whispered Camus, lies his revolt, his freedom. He is conscious of the crushing absurdity, and yet he persists, not with blind hope, but with open eyes. His burden remains, but his spirit refuses to be crushed by it. This is the secret melody hidden within your stone. It's not the song of the burden lifting. It's the song of you facing it, fully, consciously, without illusion. It's the quiet hum of defiance in your veins when you get up anyway. It's the rhythm of your breath as you meet the task you didn't choose. It's the bittersweet harmony found in the small, defiant acts of beauty you carve out despite the weight. Savoring a perfect strawberry, sharing a genuine laugh, feeling the sun warm your closed eyelids for just a moment. Camus called this embracing the absurd. It's acknowledging the stone, its weight, its apparent pointlessness, and then finding meaning not in overcoming it, but in the quality of your engagement with it, in the depth of your feeling, the clarity of your awareness, the stubborn persistence of your will. Your stone might be illness, loneliness, a demanding job, a fractured dream. Its song isn't about making it light. It's about discovering your own strength, your own capacity for feeling, your own unique resonance as you carry it. That song is your rebellion. It's the proof that the weight cannot extinguish the spark within you. It's the lullaby sung not to soothe the burden, but to celebrate the unbroken spirit that bears it. Listen for it tonight, beneath the weight you carry. Feel the vibration in your own chest. That's your song. That's your freedom. Let it carry you into the quiet dark. We've touched the cold face of the absurd and found freedom singing within our heaviest stone. But what happens when the world demands more than quiet defiance? When the injustice isn't just cosmic silence, but a boot pressed to a human throat? The whisper beneath the guillotine calls us next. Chapter 13. The Whisper. Beneath the guillotine, how choosing your death before you die sets your soul ablaze. Think of a blade, poised high, cold steel catching the indifferent sun. The crowd holds its breath. Below it, a neck bared, a life about to be severed. Utter finality. This is the guillotine, Camus' stark symbol for the ultimate absurdity. Death, the inescapable horizon that renders every human endeavor eventually meaningless. It waits for kings and beggars alike, a terrifying universal truth. But Camus, gazing into that chilling shadow, saw something else. He saw a strange, paradoxical source of fire. He saw that accepting this blade, truly understanding its inevitability before it falls, doesn't extinguish life. It ignites it. It forces a choice more profound than any election. How will you live knowing the blade will fall? This isn't about courting death. It's about letting its shadow strip away the illusions that keep you half asleep. Imagine a prisoner, condemned. The sentence is passed. The date is set. The guillotine casts its long shadow over every remaining moment. At first there is terror, paralysis, bargaining with gods who offer only silence. But then, a shift, a terrifying clarity. The trivialities that once consumed him, petty grievances, hollow ambitions, the fear of others' opinions, they begin to crumble like dust. What remains, what matters? The taste of cool water, the rough texture of the prison wall under his fingertips, the memory of his mother's smile, the fierce burning desire for one more sunrise. Facing the absolute finality, life's intrinsic value burns with an unbearable intensity. Every sensation is magnified. Every genuine connection becomes a lifeline. Every moment becomes everything. This is the lucidity Camus spoke of. The blade's shadow, by revealing the end, illuminates the preciousness of the now. It forces an authenticity that comfortable lives often lack. How many of us walk through our days, vaguely aware of death's possibility, yet living as if we were immortal? We postpone joy for a future that isn't promised. We mute our passions for fear of judgment. We choose safety over intensity, numbness over feeling. We build lives within comfortable padded cells, unaware the guillotine's shadow falls on us all. Camus called this refusal to face death's truth a kind of philosophical suicide. We kill the part of ourselves that demands authenticity and intensity now, trading it for the comfortable lie of endless tomorrows. But the prisoner facing the blade has no such luxury. His awareness is searing, and in that awareness Camus found the purest form of rebellion, to live with absolute passion and integrity, because death is certain, not in spite of it, but because of it. The blade's inevitability strips away the false urgency of societal demands, the hollow pursuits, the need for external validation.
It leaves only the raw question: what do you truly value? What makes your heart beat faster? What injustice burns in your gut? What beauty demands your witness? To rebel is to answer these questions with your life, not just your words. It's the refusal to participate in systems you find unjust, even if your resistance seems futile. It's the choice to create beauty when surrounded by ugliness. It's the decision to love fiercely, knowing loss is inevitable. It's saying yes to life, fully, passionately, without guarantee of reward or meaning beyond the act itself, simply because you are alive now. This rebellion isn't grandiosity. It's a quiet, daily defiance. It's the artist painting while the world burns, not to escape, but to affirm something beautiful exists. It's the caregiver offering tenderness in the face of suffering. It's you choosing kindness when cynicism is easier, pursuing a dream deemed impractical, speaking truth when silence is safer. It's living as if your choices matter, knowing the blade will fall. That intensity, that authenticity, that refusal to be numbed by the absurd, that is the fire beneath the guillotine. It doesn't stop the blade, but it ensures your soul is ablaze when it falls. Sleep, knowing your life, fleeting as it is yours to set alight. Choose your fire. Let it burn bright in the face of the long night. Chapter 14. Sunlight on Broken Glass. The forbidden art of finding joy in a shattered world. We build our worlds carefully, don't we? Like intricate houses of glass. We arrange our beliefs, our routines, our relationships, hoping to create something stable, beautiful, safe from the storms. And then, something happens. Loss cracks the foundation. Betrayal smashes a wall. The sheer indifferent randomness of existence sends a stone crashing through the window. Suddenly, the careful structure is fractured. Shards litter the floor. The wind howls through the gaps. We stand amidst the wreckage, cold and exposed, clutching the remaining pieces. Despair whispers, "Look at the ruin. See? Nothing holds, nothing matters." But Camus, standing amidst his own broken glass, the shattered illusions of meaning, the wreckage of war, the persistent silence of the universe, heard a different sound. He heard the possibility of a forbidden, rebellious joy, not despite the brokenness, but within it. Not by ignoring the shards, but by noticing how the sunlight catches them. Think of walking through the ruins of a once great city. Bombed-out buildings stand like broken teeth against the sky. Rubble fills the streets. The air smells of dust and decay. It's a landscape of profound loss, a testament to the fragility of everything we build. Yet, look closer. See the wildflowers pushing through cracks in the pavement, impossibly bright and defiant. See the children chasing a makeshift ball down a shattered street, their laughter echoing, sharp and clear in the stillness. See the old man, carefully tending a single geranium on a windowsill amidst the ruin. This isn't denial. It's not pretending the destruction didn't happen. It's a deeper seeing. It's recognizing that life, stubborn, persistent, beautiful life, continues to assert itself within the brokenness. Camus called this the invincible summer within us. It's the capacity to feel joy not as a replacement for sorrow, but as its companion, its rebellious twin. It's the understanding that the absurd, the broken glass of our expectations, doesn't negate beauty. It makes it more acute, more precious, precisely because it is fleeting and unguaranteed. Most people flee the broken places. They rush to sweep up the shards, board up the windows, rebuild the walls exactly as they were, hoping to shut out the wind and the unsettling view.
They chase the big, dramatic joys, the perfect success, the flawless relationship, the acquisition that promises wholeness. But Camus's art is quieter, more subversive. It's the art of the immediate, the sensory, the small. It's finding joy in the awareness of the brokenness. It's the intense pleasure of cool water on a parched throat, heightened because you know thirst. It's the profound comfort of shared silence with a loved one, deepened because you know loneliness. It's the breathtaking beauty of a sunset precisely because you know the night is coming. It's the rebellious act of savoring a perfect peach, feeling its fuzzy skin, its explosive sweetness, knowing it will be gone, knowing the world contains unspeakable pain, yet allowing yourself this moment of pure, unadulterated sensation. This is the art of living Camus championed. It's a continuous, conscious choice. It's refusing to let the world's cruelty or indifference harden your heart entirely. It's opening your eyes to the sunlight dancing on the broken glass at your feet, creating dazzling, ephemeral patterns on the dusty floor. It's recognizing that joy isn't the absence of pain, but the presence of a certain kind of attention. It's the defiant whisper. Yes, the world is shattered. Yes, it hurts. And yet, here is this wildflower. Here is this laugh. Here is this warmth. Here is this breath. I choose to see them. I choose to feel them. That is my rebellion. Tonight, as you drift, don't seek unbroken perfection. Look for the sunlight on the broken glass within your own life. Notice the small, defiant sparks of beauty. Feel their warmth. That's not ignorance. It's the deepest kind of courage. It's your art. Practice it. We've learned to find defiant joy amidst the shards. But how do we weave these fleeting sparks into a life? How do we move from moments of sunlight to a lasting warmth? The answer lies not in seeking a distant fire, but in embracing the hearth we carry within, even in the deepest winter of the soul. Chapter 14. Sunlight on Broken Glass. The forbidden art of finding joy in a shattered world. We build our worlds carefully, don't we? Like intricate houses of glass. We arrange our beliefs, our routines, our relationships, hoping to create something stable, beautiful, safe from the storms. And then, something happens. Loss cracks the foundation. Betrayal smashes a wall. The sheer indifferent randomness of existence sends a stone crashing through the window. Suddenly, the careful structure is fractured. Shards litter the floor. The wind howls through the gaps. We stand amidst the wreckage, cold and exposed, clutching the remaining pieces. Despair whispers, "Look at the ruin. See? Nothing holds, nothing matters." But Camus, standing amidst his own broken glass, the shattered illusions of meaning, the wreckage of war, the persistent silence of the universe, heard a different sound. He heard the possibility of a forbidden, rebellious joy, not despite the brokenness, but within it. Not by ignoring the shards, but by noticing how the sunlight catches them. Think of walking through the ruins of a once great city. Bombed-out buildings stand like broken teeth against the sky. Rubble fills the streets. The air smells of dust and decay. It's a landscape of profound loss, a testament to the fragility of everything we build. Yet, look closer. See the wildflowers pushing through cracks in the pavement, impossibly bright and defiant. See the children chasing a makeshift ball down a shattered street, their laughter echoing, sharp and clear in the stillness. See the old man, carefully tending a single geranium on a windowsill amidst the ruin. This isn't denial. It's not pretending the destruction didn't happen. It's a deeper seeing. It's recognizing that life, stubborn, persistent, beautiful life, continues to assert itself within the brokenness. Camus called this the invincible summer within us. It's the capacity to feel joy not as a replacement for sorrow, but as its companion, its rebellious twin. It's the understanding that the absurd, the broken glass of our expectations, doesn't negate beauty. It makes it more acute, more precious, precisely because it is fleeting and unguaranteed. Most people flee the broken places. They rush to sweep up the shards, board up the windows, rebuild the walls exactly as they were, hoping to shut out the wind and the unsettling view. They chase the big, dramatic joys, the perfect success, the flawless relationship, the acquisition that promises wholeness. But Camus's art is quieter, more subversive. It's the art of the immediate, the sensory, the small. It's finding joy in the awareness of the brokenness. It's the intense pleasure of cool water on a parched throat, heightened because you know thirst. It's the profound comfort of shared silence with a loved one, deepened because you know loneliness. It's the breathtaking beauty of a sunset precisely because you know the night is coming. It's the rebellious act of savoring a perfect peach, feeling its fuzzy skin, its explosive sweetness, knowing it will be gone, knowing the world contains unspeakable pain, yet allowing yourself this moment of pure, unadulterated sensation. This is the art of living Camus championed. It's a continuous, conscious choice. It's refusing to let the world's cruelty or indifference harden your heart entirely. It's opening your eyes to the sunlight dancing on the broken glass at your feet, creating dazzling, ephemeral patterns on the dusty floor. It's recognizing that joy isn't the absence of pain, but the presence of a certain kind of attention. It's the defiant whisper. Yes, the world is shattered. Yes, it hurts. And yet, here is this wildflower. Here is this laugh. Here is this warmth. Here is this breath. I choose to see them. I choose to feel them. That is my rebellion. Tonight, as you drift, don't seek unbroken perfection. Look for the sunlight on the broken glass within your own life. Notice the small, defiant sparks of beauty. Feel their warmth. That's not ignorance. It's the deepest kind of courage. It's your art. Practice it. We've learned to find defiant joy amidst the shards. But how do we weave these fleeting sparks into a life? How do we move from moments of sunlight to a lasting warmth? The answer lies not in seeking a distant fire, but in embracing the hearth we carry within, even in the deepest winter of the soul. Chapter 15. The Firefly in the Infinite Field. Why your tiny flickering light defies the entire dark universe. Look up. On a truly clear night, far from the city's glare, the sheer number of stars is humbling, overwhelming, billions upon billions. Ancient furnaces burning across distances so vast they numb the mind. Galaxies swirl like dust motes in a cosmic cathedral. Against this backdrop, what is a single human life? A blink, a sigh, less than a firefly's momentary glow in an infinite dark field. Insignificant, meaningless. The scale alone seems to crush the soul. We feel small, adrift, our struggles and joys rendered laughably trivial by the sheer immensity. This feeling is the gravitational pull of the absurd. Yet Camus, staring into that same terrifying abyss, didn't counsel surrender. He didn't offer celestial meaning to compensate. Instead, he pointed to the firefly, to your light, and he whispered the most rebellious truth of all. That tiny, flickering light is everything. Imagine standing alone in that vast field. The darkness presses in, thick and velvety. The silence is absolute, broken only by the thrumming of your own heart. Above, The indifferent stars wheel in their ancient patterns. You feel the crushing weight of your own smallness. Then you see it. A single firefly. A tiny pulse of greenish gold light. Here, then gone. Then here again, a little farther off. It's fragile, fleeting, utterly insignificant against the backdrop of the cosmos. And yet, in that moment, it captures your entire attention. Its light is a defiance, a declaration. I am here. It doesn't illuminate the field. It doesn't challenge the stars. It simply is. And in its simple, persistent being, it holds a profound dignity. It refuses to be extinguished by the scale of the dark. Camus saw the human condition in that firefly. Our consciousness is that flickering light. We are born into an indifferent universe, destined to die, our individual lives vanishingly small in cosmic time. No grand narrative awaits us. No divine plan justifies our struggles. The universe offers no applause. This is the cold truth. But here's the rebellion. The art, the only meaning Camus found worthy of the name. We know this. We are the only creatures, as far as we know, burdened and blessed with this awareness of our own insignificance and the universe's silence. And yet, we light up. We create. We love. We strive. We feel joy. We suffer deeply. We build sandcastles knowing the tide will come. We plant gardens knowing we may not see them bloom. We reach out to others knowing connection brings the risk of loss. We write poems, compose symphonies, seek cures, build bridges, comfort the hurting, all while knowing the stars don't care and the darkness will eventually reclaim it all. This is not futility. This is the ultimate revolt. It's Sisyphus smiling. It's the prisoner savoring sunlight. It's finding joy in broken glass. It's the whisper beneath the guillotine. It's the firefly's persistent pulse. Your life, your consciousness, your capacity to feel, to choose, to create, to love. That is your light. It doesn't need to outshine the universe. It doesn't need to last forever. Its value lies not in its duration or its cosmic impact, but in its very existence, in the sheer, stubborn fact that it flickers at all against the overwhelming dark. Living the absurd life means tending that flame, not because it will conquer the darkness, but because it is yours to tend. It means embracing your fleeting moments with fierce tenderness, loving recklessly, creating passionately, fighting injustice fiercely, savoring the simple sensory miracle of being alive, the taste of bread, the sound of rain, the warmth of skin, precisely because it is fleeting. It means finding solidarity with other fireflies, recognizing the same fragile, defiant light in others, joining your flickers together, however briefly, to create a little more warmth, a little more light in the shared dark. Your light matters, Camus insists, not to the universe, but to you. And in the act of valuing it, of nurturing it, of letting it shine, however briefly and imperfectly, you defy the crushing indifference of the cosmos. You affirm that this life, this consciousness, this moment of feeling, however small, is worth the struggle. Your flicker is a victory. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, feel that small, warm light within your chest, your firefly glow. Don't measure it against the stars. Cherish its fragile warmth. Tend it, let it pulse. It is your rebellion. It is your art. It is enough. It is everything. Let its gentle rhythm carry you into the welcoming dark.